Eastern PA Weather 30 meteorologist Bobby Martich here with your outlook for December 5th, 2016. After we had a little bit of snow in some areas overnight here, not a whole lot. We had some snow that moved through. We're going to have this system moving away today. Wave's going to move up here in New England. Another one's consolidating off of the Carolina coast. You got two low centers here, and both will be moving away from the region. We will have, for at least our eastern sections, morning clouds, maybe a leftover early shower, giving way to sun today. And whatever you had fall today, for the most part, in most areas, are going to be, it's going to be melting away. It's going to get a little bit on the mild side today as the system pulls away. We are going to have another system coming in here on Tuesday. This one also has to be watched, and this is likely also going to require another snow map from us. We had the first one up there on the weather alerts page. You're going to have another one for this one coming in on Tuesday. That'll be at some point today when we put that out. High pressure is going to move in the meantime for overnight tonight, so I do think we get mostly clear skies overnight. But then, as you can see, as we get into Tuesday morning, you have this system down to our south, a pretty potent system too, with a decent amount of precipitation. We're moving off to the northeast. And now this is the GFS depiction here. Now I want to give you a different perspective here with this too, which we think is a little bit more realistic. We have a very aggressive European model with snowfall, and we have a very lackluster GFS model with snowfall. So if you kind of meet them halfway, you get into solutions that are more supportive of like maybe a Canadian or a NAM solution. So I'll show you those right now. Here's first the GFS showing this moving up to the northeast. You can see the precipitation type depiction here as we get into Tuesday afternoon is now showing light snow up in this area here. I don't think it's correct in just showing it for this area alone. I do think it's going to be a situation where you start off as rain on Tuesday, and then when you get heavier rates and you get some evaporational cooling going on, we get some, especially out here in the mountains of central PA and up here in northeast PA. I think once the evaporational cooling process takes over, those temperatures drop and we change over to snow, and might even be some heavier bursts of snow in here. So we're going to take a good look at this today and come up with a public map. It most likely will be for out in central PA and northeast PA. I think further south and east you're going to miss out on this time. Even in places like the Lehigh Valley, I really don't think you might get a few mix of flakes to start here, but really not accumulating there. But we'll check that out and make sure as we go forward today with our discussions, and we'll send out the alerts to the My Pocket Meteorologist members as needed. Here's a look at the NAM here. This is a future simulated radar, okay, and this is looking at late Tuesday morning. Then we get in the early afternoon hours and mid-afternoon. You can see once the heavier rates start here, now we can circle back up a little bit here. See, it's all starting off across the area. This is just light rain it's showing here with that once you get the heavier rates, which is down in this cluster right here, and those heavier rates move to the northeast, you can see that's changing over to snow. I think that's really what's going to end up happening. And then the next frame, once we get into Tuesday evening, I think this is a good representation here of where the heavier rates are. The northern half of at least of central PA. I wouldn't rule out Harrisburg yet too, so we're going to watch that area as well too. But I think these areas right in here under these heavier rates have to be watched in our area. That's probably where our snow map is going to indicate those snows again. Probably north and west of the Lehigh Valley, north and west of Reading, and maybe the dividing lines up here closer to once you get into Schuylkill County, Carbon, Monroe, those areas will see snow because they're up in the mountains, and then further west all the way back to Dauphin County, especially the northern half of Dauphin County where those mountains are occurring, and points north and west up towards State College, Williamsport, could get a decent amount of snow out of this. So we're going to keep a close eye on that. This is all going to go over at some point to rain, except for, let me get back to the other image here. You can see is that it might not do that, might just end at a little bit of light rain as it ends, the precipitation rates go down. So it might be a rain to snow, and then back to briefly rain or drizzle at the end for even parts of the northern sections when the precipitation intensity decreases. If this pulls away, then Tuesday evening, everywhere else ends from southwest to northeast, and this kind of falls apart as it moves up to the northeast. So that's the system here Tuesday into Tuesday night, okay? And then we have another one. We come in here with the Arctic front. This is an Arctic frontal boundary. It's going to come through here on Thursday. Might have a few snow showers in association with that. You really can't see too much here, but a few snow showers in association with that. The winds are going to pick up with this Arctic front as it moves through, and it's going to get quite gusty here on Friday. So we're going to add insult to injury with temperatures that aren't going to get out of the 30s anywhere in our coverage area, anywhere, not even Philadelphia. On Friday, and you have these winds that are going to be kicking in from the northwest, maybe some lake effect snows flying in the usual spots, might get down pretty far too. And then Saturday is going to be an even colder day, but the winds are going to die down again. So high pressure moving in, very cold air coming in behind this Arctic front here on Thursday. Again, if you're looking for information on the Tuesday system, again, we do think some areas start off as snow. Or start off as rain going over to snow once we get that evaporational cooling and the heavier precipitation falling. Again, favoring areas basically the northern half of central PA and over to northeast PA. But we'll get a map out today as needed for any snowfall totals for the updated snowfall map for the new system. And we'll alert on the Facebook page this evening when that's available, and send out my Pocket Meteorologist clients their text alerts prior. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martich. That is your outlook for December 5th, 2016. Have a great Monday.